Good evening, and welcome to the Redefining Beauty Wednesday conversations. My name is Kamo Magabane, and tonight I'm joined by a wonderful guest who's also from my hometown, Mmule. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. She is a very wonderful personality. If you follow her on the socials, you would know just how colorful her life is. I cannot wait to have this conversation. I'm sorry to all those who had originally joined. Instagram dropped the line. My apology for that. I'm just going to wait for my guest and plug her in. Hi, everybody. Nozi, you were complaining about the sound. Is the sound fine? Can everybody hear me? Thank you, everyone. Good evening. Hello.
Hello. Hey. Can you
How are
see
you doing?
me?
I can. You just have to tilt it a little bit up because I can see the beautiful beading that you have on. But yeah.
Okay, is
So
that
the
better?
focus needs to be more on your face.
Is that better?
It is better. It's
Okay.
absolutely better. I think, Linda, I need to sit correctly so that people can see me. I can hear an echo, and I wonder if it's.
No,
Um,
definitely not me.
oh, you can't hear it when the sound is coming just fine on your side.
Yeah, perfect. Umuntu jwangel.
Thank you. Kitana Lwayne. All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Kamo Magabane. You are plugged into this platform. This is an organization for women. We are called Redefining Beauty Movement. We're just a movement for women. This is a platform where people find friends. This is a platform for inspiration. We focus strongly on self-love and body positivity. And every Wednesday, I host these conversations with inspirational women like Mmule to learn from other women. I personally enjoy talking to women. I personally enjoy listening to other women's stories and finding common ground and just being inspired by women. Because as women, we go through similar things, though we don't realize that we do. So we can always learn from each other. I believe that every woman has a story to tell that could teach us one thing or another in this life. So yeah, so that's what this movement is pretty much about. I'm excited to be having this conversation because my guest is just a very colorful personality. She does a lot of things. A lot of people on the line, they know her. She's an influencer. She's a great friend. She's a feminist. She's an activist. She's a traveler. She works in a male-dominated industry of construction. She's an avid reader and she's a fitness fanatic. She does so many things. I always wonder if she has 80 hours in a day when the rest of us have 24. So, yeah, welcome. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody. Hello, Mule.
Thank you. That was quite an intro. I'm not sure I am all those things, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
But you are all those
Um,
things. There's no lie in what I'm saying.
Hi everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for having me, Kamo. This is really an honor. I'm happy also to be here and to learn from you as well and your guests, so we can carry on our movement like
Amanda.
women forward.
Yeah, that's what it's really about, right? And we're gonna get to that because I know an active feminist. You are proudly an activist. But Arakale, just a little bit back. Let's start it at the top. How I know you from Gopinville, and I
Yes.
know you specifically from church, Go AME.
Yes.
There's two things I want to find out from you. You know, Gopinville, there's been a lot of people, influential people that have come out. Go na le eng ko metsing a Gopinville? Go
Hey,
nowa eng?
girl.
Go nowa eng
There's
Gopinville?
so many. Okay, I wouldn't have considered myself an influencer or influential. Gay papela fella, and I just state my case if ever given the platform. But there are so many people that are doing amazingly well. There must have been something in the water.
Yeah,
I
I think so
promise you,
too.
there's so much. And then you see someone on TV and you're like, I grew up with her, I know her. And people
Right.
are like, whatever.
Yeah. It makes me proud in that. I won't lie. It makes me really proud to see a lot of people flourishing. But
We're doing well.
let's start right at the beginning. You are very active on social media. A lot of people seem to know you, a lot of people follow you, but not a lot is known about you. So I want to give you I'm exaggerating in my introduction.
Yeah.
So tell me about Mmule. Who is Mmule?
Okay, so firstly, I'm staunchly African. I believe in Africa. I believe particularly in African women, who we are, what we do, what we're about, what we're capable of. As you said, born and bred in Soweto. I'm an avid supporter of anything African female. I'm a fan of authenticity, like anything that is presented to us authentically without the frills that society necessarily demands of us. So I'm a fan of hard work, of authenticity, of people doing themselves. I call myself liberated. I believe in the liberty of people and allowing people to be, whether it's their sexuality, their race, who they choose to love, what they choose to do with their lives, what their stance is on either politics or whatever issue that is on the table. I'm also the director of a Black woman-owned construction company, so I work in a male-dominated industry, which makes me flare up my my feminist wings, so to say, because we're always fighting.
Yeah.
Black women, how you've put on your armor because you don't know what you're going to be faced with. So in a nutshell, that's who I am. I'm also a mom, a friend, a sister, an aunt. I'm a fan of the institution of family. I come from a particularly wonderful family. So that's my true north. That is who I check in with. That is who I'll drop everything for. So that's basically who I am.
I love that.
And maybe a little of the other things that you said.
A little bit of that, but more on these important things.
Yes.
I know you're very big on family. I know you're very big on feminism, and you're a supporter of women. That much I know. So Rula, here we are really finding beauty. So obviously beauty is at the center of things. And I've got this one question that I always ask my guest. And I want your take and your definition of what beauty is. What is beauty according to Mmule?
I am. That is first and fundamental. I am my definition of beauty. Because I believe once you start looking for the definition outside of yourself, it is now something you're trying to achieve when you are already that thing. When you start saying that's that person, this thing, and you're not looking inside, that is your fundamental problem. Because you're now reaching, you're now aspiring to be when everything is actually inside. And then once you have acknowledged the beauty inside and all its frills and how wonderful and how big it is, then you can then acknowledge and see the beauty of another. Knowing fully well, it doesn't take away from me because I have acknowledged mine and I know when I step into a room, it is not only the aesthetics, by the way. It's not how you are dressed. It's not what you look like. It's not what color your eyes are or how King K is or whatever. It's not that. Beauty is far beyond that. It is how you carry yourself, how you treat others, how you receive others into your space, who you allow in, what it is you consume, when you consume it, how you internalize it. It's all of those things, how you walk through life, basically. That is what beauty is. And then once you've acknowledged yours, you can then acknowledge another's. And then you're able to then say, this is beautiful, you are beautiful. And we should stop looking at beauty as just aesthetic And we should stop just looking at beauty as just people. We live in a
Yeah.
beautiful country.
Number one. Yeah.
There's so much beautiful art in our country. There's so many gifted people, and not just in art, but in the corporate world. There's so many beautiful minds. There's so many beautiful hearts. There's so many beautiful things that you can then acknowledge once you've acknowledged yours, your own heart, your own mental aptitude, so far reaching beyond the aesthetic.
Aesthetics.
So my issue is that when you say beauty, do you remember Masha Tena?
Yeah. Revealing my age.
When I started looking at beauty, some lacks and then the guys, he used to say, "Hey, Masha Tena, Masha Tena." It's far beyond that. It is far beyond that. And for me, it is difficult for me to even say someone is beautiful unless I've interacted with them. Unless I have exchanged with them. I'm speaking far beyond your beautiful smile and your dimples. It's something inside that resonates. On that level, because it's far.
There's something
it's
wrong
way,
with
way
your.
beyond. Can
It
you
is.
hear me now?
There's something. Can you do me a favor? There's something wrong with your
Yeah.
sound. Can anyone confirm? And when you speak, are you holding it with your hand? Got your height. You are the
No.
speaker of the phone, because there's points where. Okay. I hope
you
it's
hear me?
not just me.
Let me just try lift this thing. Can you hear me now? Is it better?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody has complained, so I'm guessing it's fine on other people's end, because there's
Okay,
points where it goes low.
Okay, I've just moved it. I hope that it's better now. Yeah.
Okay. No, let's
Yeah.
continue. I also wanted to ask you about lockdown and how it has affected your life, just briefly before Retiba.
I've met myself deeply in the past year or so. I have met myself in areas I didn't even know I existed. And it's still hard. I'm still sort of recovering from some of these things. It's mentally. I've had to move houses. It's just and readjust, and all the things I thought were important. I saw, no, they're not. Financially, it was hell. Mentally, it was hell. It still is. But I'm very thankful that we're alive.
Yeah.
We survived. And we're going to make it through. I operate a lot on faith. I'm one of those people who believe that good things will happen, regardless of what it is we're faced with right now. So I know that a lot of people have lost loved ones. It's just been so hard. But more importantly, I am very thankful for the fact that on a mental sort of scale, I've met myself deeply. I know things about myself that I didn't know before, that I would not have known had we not gone through what we were going through. Yeah.
I hear you. I really do hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, people are saying it was the network, but it looks like everything is fine now. Talk to me about faith. What is your anchor? Before we get to talking about your definition of feminism, you speak about faith and being a person who believes. What's your anchor? Talk to me about your faith.
I pray like a crazy woman, hey?
What's
I
that
pray...
like? Tongues for 2 hours.
Wait, I pray so much that I pray, and I was raised in a very Christian home, and that's where I believe some of my blessings come from. I believe that the blessings and the prayers of my grandmother are sort of manifesting through me. And I believe that my prayers are then going to carry the generations behind me. So I feel that if I slack on prayer, then I'm letting the people that are coming after me down. 1, 2, things work out, generally, and I always say to my friends that faith and panic don't operate in the same space.
Word.
So you've got to believe that things will work out and not panic, because as you panic, you're not thinking, your mind is all muddled up. You can't plan ahead. You can't see things that are right in front of you because you're like, So I'm a staunch believer in faith, and just faith is really just believing that things are gonna work out. There are things that have been put in place by what it is that you believe, supernatural powers that will help you out of situations,
I like that.
that it's, if you pray to God, that he's there, so he's not going to let you suffer forever. You'll suffer to learn a lesson, you'll suffer, along with other people, whatever the issue may be. But you have to believe that you're going to make it out of that situation. And obviously then put yourself, start working towards will take you out of the situation. It doesn't help to just say, I pray, and then you don't work. So
because
the corresponding action is also very important for me. Yeah.
Love that. I like what you're saying about I like how you're treating prayer like seeds that you're planting. When you plant a seed, you don't get to be the one that enjoys the tree, but other people get to enjoy. I love that.
To enjoy it too, because little now we are here because somebody has prayed certain things way before we came. I don't even want to start the conversation of our ancestry and how much that they prayed. And I know once I say prayer and ancestry, people start, but it's a conversation for another day. So what I'm saying is, there are seeds that were planted for us to reap, and we are reaping them, whether we're willing to acknowledge it or not. And there are seeds that it is our responsibility to plant for the generations that are coming.
I agree with you.
Children's children. Those are
I
how
agree
deep
with
our
you.
prayers should be.
Yeah. But now my philosophy and my now definition of prayer has sort of changed away from, because some people will deem that those words that you say between our Father and Amen as prayer. For me, it now extends further to the thoughts that you think, to the words that you speak to yourself, and to and about yourself. Those things are prayer. So how work our ancestry and prayer, people will just limit it to our Father and not counter every other thing, words spoken, proclamations made, prophecies said about us, to us, all of that. So that's my take on this. Anyway,
I would even stretch it further to say it's how you live your life. It is how you affirm a friend who's going through a rough time. When you say to your friend, my friend is going to be okay, I'm going to pray for you, or even if you don't say I'm going to pray for you, the words you speak out of your mouth will manifest. That is prayer. So it is not only our Father, it is thought, word, and deed.
yes,
the things that you
I agree.
do are also your prayer.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Aritebe for a little bit. The topic of feminism, polarized, controversial, but I know you proudly call yourself a feminist. So I want you to talk to me about your definition of feminism and why you think feminism is necessary.
My definition of feminism is so simple. It's just that bizarre idea that I deserve to be treated equally and fairly. That because I have a vagina does not preclude me or exclude me from basic human rights, I always sit and think, had I been born with a penis, would I be much further in my life? Would I have received other opportunities? And from that stance, I firmly hold on to feminism because the fact that I have a vagina does not preclude me from the basic human is. Then you can then go deeper and things I'm learning right now as further along the journey is that once you say boldly that you're a feminist, there's certain concessions and things you have to then take into consideration. For instance, what I'm finding is that you'll find people who are feminists, as an example, and Christian, and are against abortion. You're a feminist at work, you're a Christian at church, or I'll just keep it at that, but you are against someone who has an abortion. You are taking away agency from someone. So feminism is also about knowing that women have agency, whether you agree
with their decisions or not.
Decisions or not. So there are things that I particularly do not agree with. But because I am a feminist, I must allow for women to have agency, whether it's stuff I would personally do or not. Sure, feminism is not boxed into I'm a feminist and therefore this is what I agree with. Anything outside of that I will judge. No, that's just generally not how it works.
Yeah, because then it becomes just preference.
It becomes preference. You cannot take agency from someone and claim to be on their side when it suits you.
Sure.
So once we start, especially as Christians, once we start having the feminism topic and we include Christianity in it, and then we're like, men are supposed to be the head. Kamo, we're feminists at work. No. If you believe in an ideal, you carry that ideal through your life. You live that ideal.
Yeah. Yeah. Part-time feminism must fall.
No, you can't be a part-time feminist. And you can't be a feminist when it suits you.
You're convenient. At your convenience.
Yeah. And also this notion, she cooks for her man. What happened to feminism? Man. I don't even want to go into those kind of things because they sort of lessen the value and the height at which we're supposed to be pitching these conversations.
Right.
Yeah. We are beyond that. We are beyond that. We need to do better. We need to have better conversations.
Yeah.
And I see some of my male friends I hear and they know that sometimes they'll say something and I'll be looking at them at the corner of my eye and they'll be like, because they know I'm not going to go. Because like, excuse me, what did you just say? Let's have a conversation. I want to understand why you're saying the things you're saying. Yeah. So I also think feminism is necessary because, like I say, now I think beyond myself, there are generations that are coming. It's like I'm going to liken it to, and I get into trouble for this, I'm going to liken it to the fight against apartheid.
Yeah.
If apartheid wasn't fought, or if someone was saying, is this fight necessary? Are we going to win this fight? It doesn't look like we're going to win it, so we must stop it. The people that are coming are going to be fighting the very same wars we are fighting. We're going to find your daughter who is as qualified and has all the necessary qualities that are needed for a particular position, not being preferred, but being the preferred candidate because she's female, or being in the same position with the same qualification, getting paid 40% less.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we don't fight these things,
the
people that come after us are going to have to be fighting the same things. And what difference would we have made as a generation completely of women?
I agree. Yeah, I totally agree. Because Vela, we have this notion now that these things will somehow fizzle out or it'll resolve itself. But whether we fight or not, the fight has to happen. It's either us or it'll be our children that fight this, right?
We have to fight it because what I'm saying is that we cannot hold on to complacency. It's always been like this.
Yes.
We're waiting for someone to come. And the thing is, people who have privilege hold on to that privilege.
Yeah, people. I saw a comment. Somebody said, men must also stop carrying their male privilege everywhere they go.
Yeah. Hello, friend. What I'm saying is that, but people who are generally privileged hold on to privilege. Mapua were not going to let go of their power in jail without a fight.
Yeah.
It's the same with men. It's the same with men. They're not gonna just say they'll
Yeah.
speak it for no, but they are still benefiting from the same privileges of years and years and years of patriarchy. So what I'm also finding interesting in how I'm going through life is the intersectional um, way that feminism is playing out.
Mm-hmm.
The issue of Black women in this country is different from the issue of white women in this country.
Yeah.
Yes, we are women and some of our issues are the same. But generally, Black women are the most disadvantaged. So our fight is different. We've got
Yeah.
to fight harder than every other race of women in this country because it's not only at home, it's in the streets, it's where we work, it's in our businesses. It is so you've generally got to be pushing back all of the time, and it's exhausting. But somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
We cannot sit complacent about it. And there's so many things that come into play, whether it's the salary disparity, whether it is gender-based violence, whether it is how you treat your daughter differently from your son. For those of us who are parenting, it is how you see. This is another important thing. As a Black woman, I walk down the street right now and I see a Black man approaching. My reaction is completely different from when I see a white man approaching.
Absolutely.
One of the intersection of race, of historical issues, of how Black men have been treating us. It's a lot of things.
That are layered.
Yeah, so in the spaces that you occupy, ladies, stand firm and I'm trying to avoid to be this, they call us angry feminists, but read and understand the intricacies of how these relations came to what they are and what it is we are fighting. Because you can't be a feminist and not understand the detail of it. You can't say men are trash and not do the work.
Agreed.
Someone
Agreed.
has to.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. And you know, when people call us angry and all of that, I always respond back and say, perhaps other people are not as angry. If we were equally angry, we would see change. Because look at apartheid. I love your example here, apartheid. A lot more people had to be angry. People had to be so angry to want change. And so therefore, you know, it happened. I mean, all revolutions need anger. And it's only when people are angry and want to see a change at a large scale that we see differences. I just saw a lot of comments. I want to go through them a bit before we proceed. Bongi, we were saying, aren't all these labels ultimately the issue? No, Bongi, I don't think so.
Which labels? Which labels, like feminist,
Christian, yeah. So you can answer it whilst I look at other comments. Do you think?
I don't particularly think it's a label as such. It's a movement that we've decided to be part of, and consciously decided to be part of because we know the challenges. So if I don't say I am a feminist, then I'm going to say I'm a woman fighting against patriarchy, which is the same thing. Or you can still refer to that as a label. But I am proudly what I am, you know. So unless it's a label that's put on me without my consent or something like that. But this is what I have chosen to be, and these are the ideals I stand by. So I'm proudly that. And whatever you call it, the cause is bigger, you know?
Yeah.
The cause is bigger. The fight is bigger.
The fight is indeed bigger. I have to agree with you, especially on the not just the idea of what it is. And I remember I was saying to people on Facebook that I don't want to be called a feminist, but I'm doing the work of a feminist. Don't call me the feminist, but I'll still fight the fight. I'll still stand up for women. I'll still have a voice for these things and speak against these things because the label is meaningless, Faye. Because there's people, you know, there's people and there's these famous feminists, but where's the work that backs up the title that you're giving yourself?
Yeah. We also need to belong somewhere. You know, if you start calling yourself something else, but do the work of a feminist, and I call myself another thing, and then we're like all over the place and not, we're fighting a common cause, but all over the place. So we've almost got to come together and agree, or this is where we're going in this particular direction, and this is why. Because for me, what we're called is periphery. It's peripheral. It's like on the side. The cause is bigger. Let's go in the same direction.
Agreed. I see TP is also saying next time please also interview men, and also then uncomfortable questions, myself included. Take us out of the male privilege. Yeah, I'll do something around that. I'd really like to have a round table with men, especially around gender equalities and feminism specifically.
Yeah. I was
okay.
speaking to a friend of mine who is male not too long ago, and I was saying the conversations that we are having as females or as feminists, and feminists are likely to be women. There are men, which is absolutely fantastic. But we're having these conversations to ourselves, and we're not including the people who are feeding off this privilege, you know, of patriarchy or whatever. So they need to join the conversation, and we need to then walk together in the same direction. And once a man is part of the conversation, we then would like to believe it will spread to his friends, to his sons, and so forth, because we will not win the war.
We won't.
On our own, you know. We've got to have a codessa of sorts.
Agreed.
But they've got to come correct, almost. They have to come honestly to say, this is how we grew up, this is what we know, we're ready to unlearn, or whatever the issue may be. But these conversations have got to happen in the same space. And since you have this beautiful platform, it could be the right platform to have this kind of conversation, because even the definition of beauty largely lies with how patriarchy has told us we must look.
Yeah, right.
And have you seen how men treat pretty women better than what they don't deem to be attractive or whatever?
It's called pretty privilege. I know it. Yeah.
The men that they think are pretty, the women that they think are pretty, they treat them differently to women they think are not attractive. So they've got to join the conversation, even of the redefinition of beauty. Doesn't work like that.
It really doesn't. Hey, I'm mindful of the time.
Okay.
Who's saying? Zianda saying, I feel labels are more to create a sense of community and who you identify with. Agreed. We must all. I think it was Mahauta is saying we must all be feminists. Feminism is not gender-based. Men must also support and fight for women's equality. And they really must. Bana must come with their strength, must come with their privilege, must come with their positions.
Yeah.
We really will not win this war if men are not part of the conversation, and men are not, you know, even though we are at the forefront and we are championing these things because we are the ones that are most affected, but the men must come on board. Akira Titi will sit and discuss something that can be done around this.
Yeah.
Okay, less of the serious things. You are a traveler. You know, everybody that knows you knows, hey, Mmule is always jumping on a plane to go somewhere. Just light. Which country or have you not been to that you still want to go to? Because I think you've been everywhere.
Yeah, I know. Not even. Not even. I've been to a lot of places, but there are so many places that I have not been to. Next on my list is Morocco.
Okay, nice.
It just looks amazing. I just want to clear up a misconception. You know, what we think is that when someone is traveling, our peer is traveling, they have money. No, there's no money. It's just when you love something, you make it work.
You spend you spend your money
Yeah.
on it.
You spend your money on it and you make it work. But
Yeah.
I'm also not that girl, or I got business class and traveling in Louboutins. No. Yeah, I make it work. I plan towards it, and you make it fit your budget.
Yeah.
So I always get messages, where do you get this money to travel? No, it's
Yeah, we are
not
always
fair.
wondering.
Yeah, if you want something, Kamo, you make it.
You do. I
Yeah,
know.
you put it there. Okay, this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm gonna achieve it.
No, trust me, I
So
know.
I
I can
yeah.
relate. It's just that people don't realize Horibona, their money is spent on BNG and Verve, and when and when people don't realize that the
Yeah,
bulk of the money they spend on the cars, the bulk of the money they spend on shoes, Mara,
whatever.
when
Yes,
how we
it's the
structure
same. It's just the
different.
other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been such an eye opener traveling. Besides the taking pretty pictures, and you learn that you are such a tiny part of the world.
Yeah.
You're such a tiny part of something so much bigger than yourself. We have this thing everybody go Pimville one day, but it's so beautiful to be anonymous, to not know anyone, for nobody to even know you, to take it all in. It is just so lovely. And I want to tell you, ladies,
Tell
South
us.
African women are the most beautiful in the world. It doesn't matter if you cut eyes. They're always like, you're South African. Like, how do you know? I can tell by your features. South African women are beautiful. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. So we must stop reading. We must walk tall. We must walk tall. Go all over the world. You will see how well you are received, as opposed to the men who see you every day. Yeah, and then you pitch yourself low because Powako Kai is over you, and because they grew up with so much beauty that they are over it. Leave the country, come on.
I like that, actually. Right? I like that. People must go out. People must get out of these borders.
Get out
And people
of
don't need
the
to go
country.
further. People don't need to go to Europe and very far. Like, get out of the country. Go to Namibia. Just go to Botswana. Go
Just
elsewhere.
here. I'm
Right?
telling you'll see how differently we are received by people. I'm not talking about just men, by people in other countries. Yeah, then you walk tall and you see, no man, la mpuma khona bangijwayela kabi kahle kahle. You see, you come back with a new confidence. You have to. It's one kanyan. I saw a meme the other day. The problem is that you think that your soulmate is South African.
Right?
Mm-mm.
Bona, wait a what's Then I'll tell people about my friend who found love in California.
And just left and is happily ever
and
after.
is so happy,
Luna
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the sipota wa kibuntle babu bonang mo South Africa.
You must understand, because South African women are just generally stunning.
Yeah.
So he's over it. Babang are like, wow, I need to treat this one like an egg because look at her.
Right? Anyway, moving right along. We've only got 10 minutes left.
Okay.
So I want us to talk about, like, Hannah, you do a lot of things. Bona, you do traveling. Kamo, you're an influencer. Kamo, you're always dressed in beautiful clothes. There's a fashion element to your life. And I want you to talk to me about influences there. What's happening? Are you a fashionista, or do you like nice clothes, or are you dressed? Lona,
I don't know. Why look influencer? The influencer, they are patalwa mos.
No. I keep weak at the influencer to Instagram. An influencer is someone like you who changes people's minds and thoughts. Someone that is followed, people that, yeah.
So I don't have a particular. Okay, I come from. My mom has a lot of sisters, so I grew up looking at beautiful women who are immaculately dressed. I
Okay.
just used to think, for my standards, I thought, wow, you know. But I think how you dress or your fashion sense, as we put it, is self-expression. Ne? So instead of me looking at you and saying, I want to dress like that, I can see what it is I like about what it is you're wearing and what it is about what you're wearing speaks to me. So I'm very eccentric in how I dress because maybe that's just my personality. But it is self-expression. So if you go to a window and you take everything that is there and you put it on, you may not feel comfortable. You may not feel full and whole and stunning, you know. So you and I can wear dress, but carry it differently. So it doesn't matter what you wear. It doesn't matter where it comes from, how much it costs, who imported it or who tungad it. Doesn't matter. It is the confidence with which you carry it that you can then feel like whatever they term it, a fashionista, stylish, whatever. It is the confidence that you wear it with. We're also in an era where we're able to access pictures and information about what people are wearing quite easily. Your Instagram can mislead you because people are posting their best outfits, they're posting the most expensive, and you're like, oh, I don't dress like that, or I can't afford that. No, guys. Wear what you love, the way you love it, and wear it with confidence. Once you love it, you're already in a positive space, not because someone has it or someone, you know, just wear it because you
love it.
You feel good in it, you know. And if you wear it with confidence, and if it's yours and you chose it and you love it, you'll wear it with confidence, and then you look amazing. You know,
I
don't buy into trends or or it doesn't. That I don't care. So I'll likely pitch up somewhere wearing something completely different from what everybody else is wearing, because I dress for me. I want to look in the mirror and say, girl,
right?
To me, by the time I leave the house, get convinced. So I don't need you to say it. I don't need anyone to affirm it, but I'm convinced, and how I carry myself will make you think I'm dressed well.
Yeah, you're saying so many things that I want to really get down into. PR expression is key. Ramunya Luisa Mmule made me fall in love with maxi dresses. I agree with you, whatever, and that is why we love you, and we, you know. And I remember you once said something to me that I will never forget. It haunts me daily, Mmule. It haunts me. Now, 2021, what you said years ago haunts me. You said to me, I don't dress for my personality, confuse about. And I'm like, Ish. And I'm still working on it. Wait.
I maintain.
Ish.
Well, I haven't seen a lot of how you dress now, but your personality is so intricate and beautiful and such and if you took your clothes as self-expression, you probably would dress completely differently.
I would. I know I would. That's why it haunts me.
Yeah.
That's why it haunts me.
When you when you wear something, you think this is me. So I have a thing where my friends, when they see something strange, Nyana, so like a strange dress, or they're like, Mmule, you would wear this. I'm like, yeah, because it's an expression of who I am. Like my hair, you know, I don't want to, I never want to wear or have something on me that is not a reflection of who I am on the inside. I don't want to conform because it is nice for somebody else. If it's not working for me, then it's just not working. I haven't had a full head of hair in a very long time because I feel that would be conforming to some kind of normalcy, and I don't like that. I'd get bored. So I think if you dress for your personality and who you know you are, yeah, because it's a confirmation of what's on the inside.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like the maxi dress that everyone is talking about. I feel so sexy in that dress. Like I can have dress here from like everything covered from neck to ankle. And that is when I feel sexy. You know why? Because I know I'm sexy.
Yeah.
So I don't need the clothes to confirm it. And I'm
Phew.
not taking away from people who dress in a particular way, but I know I'm sexy, and I'm going to step into a room, and you will take your eyes away from the one in the shorts and look at me in my flowing dress and latelanga momrao, because I already know it.
What's
So
that thing?
I don't need it. I don't need the clothes to confirm it.
I know. Indaba, I know that you're the poster girl for self-love. I see your post. I know you are your own hype girl. And you know, it's that, and people know that I'm confident and all of that. And people always ask, how do you attain it? So I want to ask you, Liwe, when did you become this person? Have you always known? Have you always been staunch? Have you always been assured? Were you given a pep talk? Where does this thing come from? Where you post a picture and you're like, yes, girl, Azation. How did where is share the secret to self-love.
I don't think it's always been there. I think it's a process, and as you grow and learn and go through things, and having people tell you that they prefer you to look like this or they prefer this from you. I always say to my friends and my children that I was given a pep talk at birth. I gave actually confirmation. No, I don't need it. I'm going to tell you. So, Taba just said, yeah, I was given a pep talk at birth. So I was raised in a very
Yeah.
in the sense that I'm not going to say my dad is not one of those people who say, oh, my baby, you look beautiful today. No, he focused on your other attributes and characters, your intelligence, your mind, how you look at things. Are you reading? How much do you know about this topic? How do you speak? Are you reading the paper? So you could pitch in purple and pink hair. He's not that dad who's gonna say, go cut that hair, you look, no. He used to focus on what's on the inside, right? And
Yeah.
my mom is very affirming. She would then say, oh, Montle, my baby. So I grew up with that and I believed in it from a young age. It's something I also do with my children. My daughter will tell you that she's the most beautiful woman and the most beautiful girl in the
Aww.
world, and she does not care what you think, you know. So I'm sort of passing it along. And then another thing is that it's as we evolve and grow, and you see, for the people are starting to notice certain things about you, whether it's physical attributes, maoto a hawa matele, it's you don't zoom in too much on that. You know, there are attributes that can be taken from you. You can gain the weight, the body can go, you can have a scar tomorrow, God forbid you have an accident, and those things are outside, they are peripheral, they
Yeah.
wear as you get older, and guys, focus on the inside. Work on what is going on inside. And
Right.
what is going on the inside will show on the outside. How you feel about who you are, the conversations you have with yourself, how you relate to other people, how you show up for other people, how you show up for yourself. All of those things, that is who you are. And the people around you shouldn't know you for and how beautiful your skin is and how well you dress. They should know you more for who you are to them,
On
beyond
the
the
inside.
physical. Beyond the
Yeah.
physical, are you showing up for your people? Are you honest? Are you earnest? Do you stand
Yeah.
firm in your beliefs? Are you helpful? Are you all of those
Yeah.
things are very, very important, and that is what assures me, because I can safely sit here and say I am a good friend
Yeah.
because of A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
I am a good sister because of A, B, C, and D. I have my faults, but should I be, I always say, this is very important. I pitch as my best self on the inside. But I don't pitch to do you a favor. I pitch because I want to be there. And once I want to be there, I'm already positive. You're happy, I'm smiling. You think, oh, that girl is so attractive. No. Inside.
Inside. Man.
Yeah.
Man.
And as I grow and evolve, I think I'm even more beautiful. You know, than I turned 40 last month or the month before. But I think I'm more beautiful now because I'm evolving and the inside is looking even more splendid. So it's showing.
It is showing. Girl, it is showing.
Yeah.
Many people can attest. I hear Kamsi saying you're a very good friend. Many people can attest to that. You know, and you know what you're saying, it's just the embodiment of this movement. I mean, redefining beauty is exactly for that. I mean, a lot of people, I was saying there's a time last week you was here about the reality of people like you and I that exist. Like, these things are real. So that's why I started this movement to show even women what this can be attained. You can love yourself. You can teach yourself to love yourself. You can be confident from the inside out. And you know, so that's my sort of desire to show people and to expose other ladies to ladies like you. So because where people think all women don't get along, all women are angry, all women are always fighting. And someone else was asking during the week, or how do you get good friends? And I was saying it's as simple as you be the good friend. Then you will attract good friends. You know, once it's very difficult for people that know they're beautiful on the inside to be ugly to other people and not be able to see beauty in other people, right?
Yeah, it's very, very hard. That's why I'm saying once you've acknowledged your beauty inside, it's very easy to see it on the other on other people. It's not only easy to see it, it's easy to say it and affirm other people. No, girl, what you're doing is absolutely perfect, lovely, you know. But we exist in very strange times. Not everybody's good. Yes, I agree. Not everybody's good, and not everybody wants the best for you. But if you show up as your authentic, true, lovely self, the world will receive you as such. You'll have your fair share of heartbreak and
like everybody else,
loyal and like everybody else. But because you've got this beautiful fundamental, what do I call it, base on the inside, like a platform with which you can launch yourself from, like a pedestal that belongs to you and is yours and will always be there. You then go off into the world in a more positive space, and positive things come back to you. I know it sounds dreamy and whatever, but the truth is, if you want best for other people, the best will come to you. You know.
Yeah.
We can't then. I also refuse to have or live my life in such a way that some people are bad and I don't know which one is the bad one, so I'm just
and you're always cautious
and I don't know. No. Show up as yourself. Don't cheat the world of your best self, because that's what you're here to do. Leave yourself.
Yes.
Live in such a way that when you leave this world, you've done your best at everything, at your relationships, at making yourself happy, at achieving the things that you want to achieve. You leave your best self on the table and let people take what they like, use what they like, and if there are other things that they cannot use, let them leave them there, because my son is here. Hi, kiddo. Hi, baby. Sorry. So if you show up authentically, good things will come to you.
That's true, Inda.
Yeah.
Don't cheat the world of your best self. Anymore. Everyone is writing it out. Don't cheat the world of your best self. Man,
that's not worth it.
I'm gonna create a post out of that one. I love it.
Don't cheat the world. Pitch up as as your
Pitch up
best
as your
at
best self.
wherever you go. You know, there are those places where you go and you feel, I don't want to be here, I'm showing up for someone, whatever. Show up at that place as your best
As you.
self. And generally, when you show up as your best, you get something from it. You learn something from someone, you get a friend, people open up to you, you know, you've come and put everything of yours on the table. And you can also take something from the table and go home with it. So
Babe,
that's how I live my life anyway.
me too. Thank you for confirming and affirming that notion.
Must.
Love it. Bona, ha re kwale kereke e. We've said a lot. We've ran over time, but I only have one last question.
Okay.
And it's important. I know I could close this and leave it there, but I want to throw it in there because I know you're an avid reader. So my last question is that what's the one book that you would recommend for every woman to read?
I don't think there's one, okay? I would say we should all be feminists.
Okay.
You must read that. And then I think the other would be, let me think. I think
that's by Chimamanda, guys. She's not mentioning the author, but that book is by Chimamanda Adichie Ngozi.
And Nervous Conditions. Nervous Conditions. I think everyone should read that.
Nervous Conditions.
Yes. I also think, I don't think it's one or two books that would sort of completely influence or help you become or think a certain way. I think we should all be reading anything. So I think it's a collection of things you are exposed to, whether it's TV, quotes. Don't even follow people on Instagram that you feel you're not affirmed by or that make you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah, love it.
Do not consume things that make you feel less of a person or less lovely, you know? So it's a collection of things, people you surround yourself with, the conversations you have with self and with others.
Yeah.
So take in everything that you can, that you feel builds you to be your better self, and then show up as that self, you know.
Thank you.
And as you grow, you keep learning and you keep reading and you're like,
and you
oh,
keep
that's
evolving.
amazing. And you keep evolving and you love yourself at whatever stage you are at, because right now, who I am today is not who I'm going to be next week, but I love myself tremendously today, and I'm going to love myself for love who I'll be next week, you know,
Amanda.
because I'm constantly evolving. And that's what we should all be doing, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. And on that note, we will leave today's installment at that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the conversation. My name is Kamo Magabane. This is Redefining Beauty SA. Please follow the movement. Please engage. We've got great content. I'm always talking to amazing women like Mmule. Next week, I have another guest. I'm here every week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Let's engage. Share your ideas. Share how we can grow this platform. Let's do amazing things, and let's show up as our best selves. I love that. Whoa.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you so much.
Good night, and God bless.
All my people are here. Bye.
Bye.